Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're a new subscriber, you're welcome, and if you're an old subscriber, thank you so much for always returning. So on the previous video, I mentioned that I would be mentioning those who consistently join, watch and follow my videos. Yes, so today I'm giving a shout out to Ayo. Thank you so much, Ayo Dele, for always stopping by to watch my videos, to share them, to comment and to react. Thank you so much. And to all of you who are doing so, I am going to be mentioning you subsequently. Just stay around and stay in touch. So today on this video, I will be sharing how I was able to navigate school and business. As an entrepreneur and an academy owner, someone who trains people almost every first 3 weeks of every month, I teach people back to back, except on Sundays. There are private classes, there are group classes, and also I'm an editor, I'm a publisher, and all of those things I do around there. I'm a freelancer, I'm a ghostwriter. So all of these things, I started it when I was in my 200 level. Yes, maybe on another video, I'm going to share how my academy came about. But on this particular video, I would be sharing how I was able to navigate them. First of all, I came to terms with the fact that my academy is not a side hustle for me. Everything I do around it is not a side hustle. It is part of my life. It is part of the things that is going to help me thrive, even as a normal human, not to talk of as a student. That was the number one thing I told myself. I had to have that conversation with myself. Number two, when I started the academy, I started it on the base of, let me just do these things and help people and run off and go on with my life and people looking for the way out. However, I started it, I realized how impactful it is in the life of people. More people are helped, more people find answers to their questions, more people's problems are solved. Even there are services I offer that are not public. It's only people that come to me privately, yes. But the moment I decided that this is not a side hustle, it's not something I should do at my leisure, but something I have to do even when it is not convenient. There are days I will be working tooth and nail to finish an editing project, like editing a book. So sometimes I'm even writing exams, sometimes I'm planning to write tests, sometimes I'm planning to write exams. So it's really hectic. I just want to be sincere in that part. It was hectic. Sometimes I'm overwhelmed. Sometimes I go to classes late. Like, it's not sometimes, most of the times I was always late to class because I sleep very late and wake up very late. So before I finish everything, I'm almost late to class. And as God may have it, some of my lecturers knew what I was doing, so it was easier for them to accommodate me, allow me into the classes. Now, when I started writing, when I started my business, one of the things that stood out for me is that I defined my reasons for doing it. The moment I understood that this is not something that I just have to do casually, it is people's life are attached to it. Some people need what I have to teach them in order to scale up their life, in order to do better in life. So I sat up. I had to go in search of knowledge, and I did not study arts. There was no link with what I do now with what I studied. So it was a bit difficult studying this and studying that, combining them together and ensuring that a level of excellence comes out from both of them. So after defining that, I knew that I saw the picture, I understood. Like, I saw the picture, I understood that this is not something I would easily ace. It's not something I would easily sail through by my strength. So I had to put God in all of it all. Like, every single thing I want to do, I want to accept the project, I'm on it, I'm finding it difficult, I'm not sure what to do, how to do, what to navigate, how to respond to a client, like they're getting on my nerves, I don't know what to do, I always pray. That's one thing I've always stood out for me. And another thing, I had a support system. I didn't thrive in school because I'm a superwoman or because I know so much. I had a friend I have a friend, like, she's not in the past, she's still in my life today. Like, I have a friend who was always supportive. At the point, this friend, we happened to be roommates. At the point, my friend almost acted like my PA. I had to tell her, I want to call this person so and so time. I need to deliver this so and so time. I need to do this so and so time. So she was always keeping tabs with me. She was always helping me with cooking. Like, most of the meals we ate in school, she made them. And she was always there giving me updates. Sometimes I leave classes before dismissal. Sometimes I have to leave to go and make a call to hear people out, to know what that they are demanding from my brand, so that I don't make mistakes, to talk with them. Sometimes I get sent out from the class by lecturers who don't know what I do or who don't understand what I was doing. It was really hectic. However, three things that stood out for me is number one, I defined my reasons for doing that particular thing, and I saw the bigger picture. I wasn't looking at the few people I was impacting in my 200 level. I was mostly focused on the bigger picture, the number of people, what I know, and what I have decided to give to the world. I know that God has put inside of me to give to the world, how much is going to change people's life, and it's happening right now. So when I saw that bigger picture, I gave myself that impression that if I don't show up, these people's life will not move on. Like, they won't have the best of the life. They will always live in regret, in confusion, and in stagnation. So I gave myself that impression that their life depends on me. I don't know them, I haven't seen them at the moment, but I knew that I had to live my life in that manner so that I will be able to keep up. Believe me, it's not easy. However, it is possible. Another thing I already mentioned, clarifying my goals, praying as often as I can, and I had a support system. My friend was really understandable. My friend and my roommate and my classmates, we happened to be in the same class, we happened to be in the same room, we share a lot in common, so it was easier. I sometimes I don't have to struggle to know what to wear, to know what to say, because sometimes I will have to liaise with her. I will have to review what I wanted to say, what I wanted to do with her, and she's quite a very knowledgeable person. She's very smart, so most of her answers would align with what would be more suitable with what was going on. Those are the three things that helped me thrive. Now, while in school, I almost lived a boring life, like work, school, church. And it's one of the things I'm not entirely happy that I did, because I barely know my classmates. I know them because they know that I write, so most of them want to know. Most of them are looking, who is that writer that is there? So I had classmates who want to see me, who want to know how am I coping and the rest of it. Yes, I was able to explain to some of them. I was able to tell them. So it's more like everybody wants to help me one way or the other. If a lecture comes in, they call me, he's here. That's if my friends are around. I'll be like, hey, it's here, start coming. I'll just climb bike and start rushing back to school. Maybe I'm at home, maybe I'm even outside doing something. So that was one of the easiest way. So I realized at some point that I was almost living a boring life. School, church, work. From school, I rushed back home, work, then from work to church. So what I did was I had to join a unit. I'm a singer, I'm a choir. I was in choir. I'm no longer in choir now, but I was in choir then. So one of the social things I do is to go for rehearsals, wake up earlier on Saturdays, go for rehearsals, join them, sing, score the songs, understand it, back up, sometimes sing along some people. So that thing also gave me the sense of belonging. I know that I'm somewhere. There were times I relapsed, like I was not that active because there was so many projects, and I can't entirely say no to all of those projects because I needed the money. Like, that was my source of income in school. Every money I spent from my 200 level, I earned it myself. And if you help favor people here and there, they'll be like, oh, God said I should give you so and so, they'll give me. But I wasn't relying on the fact that God sometimes laid in people's heart to give me some money. I focused on building myself. I focused on establishing myself. I focused on doing best as much as I can. So one of the things that stood out for me is to define your why. Why are you doing it? Understand who are you doing it for. Number one person you're doing it for is you, and number two person is you're doing it for is a person who needs that particular thing you're doing, that particular business you're doing. And the number three person who needs you have to consider is the future person, the person who you helped, the person they are going to help. Because if you don't help the person you're helping at this moment with the knowledge you have, there is high chances that the person that is going to come after them will never exist. So all of these things kept me right on track, and I did a lot with prayers. I did a lot with to-do lists. Yes, I had so many diaries with to-do lists. I had so much to-do lists because sometimes I forget. Sometimes I don't even have the interest to do something at all. And the shocker, I know you won't like this, I avoided dating. I had numerous friends. I had people who visited me, who came to my house, people who looked out for me, who checked on me, who took care of me. Yes, it's not like they paid any bill for all those emotional care, like how you doing? You waiting in church, we didn't see you in class, what happened and all that. I had friends like that while in school and working. However, I focused more on not being so close to someone to that point where they are going to ask me out. And for people that are not in my school, whenever they ask me out, I tell them I'm not ready. And one thing I pray to God is to help me so that I don't lose my husband while I was in school. So I don't lose my partner when I was in school. Yeah. It's a very, very intentional act. I was not ready. Like, there is no way I want to be a burden to a fellow young person that probably would want to be in a relationship with me. Like I'll tell them, oh, they asked us to buy so and so, and that, oh, my water is finished, oh, this one is happening, oh, I want to go out. Like, I wasn't born that way. Yeah. So I knew that in order to be able to foot that bill, in order to be able to get that particular thing I want without bothering anyone, I will have to, like, I need to work hard and earn the money so that I can be able to afford what I want to afford and be able to live a decent life in school. Because I realized that most girls out there in school, why they sleep around, do all manner of things, is that they don't have enough money to buy what they want or what they need. So they end up going to guys, those promiscuous ones, asking them for money, and in exchange those guys ask for their body. And that's why we have so many girls sleeping around. Like, the world has grown to a point where people don't feel remorseful for fornication anymore. Like, body counts, I don't even want to go into that right now. However, I knew that even if I decide to date someone, the person will want my attention, they will want my time. Of course, I will also want their time and attention, and there is high chances that they will not be able to meet that need, and I wouldn't have enough time to be able to work the work I need to do in order to meet that need. So I told myself, you are not ready. I called myself Ogochukwu. Yes, I answered myself, you are not ready for a relationship now. I met so many amazing people. Like, if I wanted to get married in school, I would have, because there were suitors that came. But I was so intentional about growing what I was doing and being all of that. Yes, I know I've not missed my husband. There's no way I will miss my husband. Of course, I don't know what you're thinking. However, that was how I was able to navigate school. I avoided dating. I defined my why, and I was very intentional about people, what I'm doing with impact. And also, I had the right kind of people around me. My friend, of course, my roommate was one of them. My siblings, my sisters was also instrumental to my stability, because it was easier for me to reach out to them and tell them what is going wrong, and all of them will find a way to contribute. Not money, but they're always there. My friend is always there. And prayers, I've always anchored my life on prayer. Whatever I want to do, whatever decision I want to make, I anchor it on prayer. And most times people around me do not entirely understand why I make some certain decisions in my life. But when I pray, I get the conviction from God. Whatever someone is saying, I don't entirely consider that, because I know God will never leave me astray. And that's why I'm always in tune with what He's saying, so that I don't make mistake what He's saying for another. It's not like I'm all perfect. I hear God all the time. I've made mistakes. There are opportunities I've lost. I cried over it. I sucked around over it. But that was it. I knew that if I knew that more will come. It's not like if God did not want it, He wouldn't have brought it my way. But I lost it, maybe out of ignorance, maybe whatever reason. But going forward, I knew that more will come. I'm just positioned to explore more, to gain more. So that's my story. I probably will make part 2 as God permits. So maybe when I get questions that require me to make part 2, I will probably make part 2 of this particular video. But I hope in one way or the other you have been able to understand my own templates, what worked for me. It might work for you, it might not work for you. You can date in school, you can marry in school, and everybody have different templates for their life. Always be intentional. Once you're intentional, you always find what works for you. I'm a very emotional person, and I love people to the core. Yes. And that's why when people around me die or they travel, they relocate, I feel maybe sick, I feel sad, especially people I've lived with, I've been around, like people that are always all around me. So that's why I didn't want to get into relationship. I had my friends, like male, female of them. Yes, we are friends, we know each other to a large extent, but my friend was really that coolest person to me. And when she was getting married, I was feeling a bit sad. Oh, just me. But my friend did not really leave me because she got married. She's always still there. She's still an amazing person to me. So I believe you got value from this video. Do well to subscribe, do well to share this video, and do well to like. I'll see you on the next video. Bye.